General Conversation Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1. I'm Valerie.
This is Cord.
How y'all feeling out there today? This is Season 3 for us. This is
Whoop,
the
whoop.
first. This is the first podcast for 2021, and we just checking on y'all. We glad you still here listening to us.
We made
Girl,
it.
how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I can't complain. Once again, I refuse to. We made it. We made it.
No,
New women. Blue all day is the way. You know what I'm saying? Hope I don't never be set tripping. We gotta ride this blue on out.
You can say set tripping like you crip now.
You know what I'm saying?
You a crip now?
With Blue winning right now, baby. We gotta ride with him on this one. We gotta ride this one out.
Right.
It ain't been so good to me lately.
Look, you said you gonna be wearing blue all
I ain't a big fan of the color blue like that, but I'm gonna to ride this one out for a little while. You know,
you gonna have to retire some of your black shirts and put on some.
Whoa. I ain't say all that now.
He said black t-shirt. What
Hold on now.
So if you guys don't know, we are based out of Georgia, and we did it. We did a runoff election, and we got Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock, and it is Warnock, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's Warnock.
Okay. I don't know why I want to say Warnock, but that's not it. It's
John.
I see what I'm doing. I'm mixing Ossoff and what. Anyway, they have made it, and it's Democratic, so it's blue. And so what that means is the Senate, it has 50% Democrats, 50% Republicans. So when we do vote, and there's a tiebreaker, most likely the Democrats will win that whatever they're voting on, because Harris is the tiebreaker. So the vice president. So shout out to her as well.
That is correct.
I know you had sent me a meme, Cordero. Did you want to talk about the meme in that kind of discussion a little bit?
We should probably, post the meme up, after the podcast, that we can like kind of go with the theme a little bit. All right. So we're gonna jump right into this thing. Valerie. She came with some very excellent questions, the brilliant mind that she has.
Oh God, we do this together. This is a team effort.
Right. All right. Do you think more people will vote now?
I'm hopeful that they will, especially younger people, and even people that was like, oh, voting doesn't work. I mean, it definitely won't work if you don't vote at all. So I mean, there's that.
You gotta play
but I'm hopeful that more people will vote. And because I'll give you a little background, when I voted, I think the first time I was able to vote, I did vote for Obama in 2008. And the crazy thing about it was that made me feel like, because he won, I think even if he didn't win the election, I think I still would have voted, just because how it was instilled in me from my parents. But I definitely felt like that worked. And I remember telling my cousin, like, calling her and kind of like in tears in my eyes, like, it works. It really works. And at that year, the county that I was living in, they had like one of the largest turnout for voting. And so I do think that it's a possibility that more people will vote, because a lot of people are, oh, it don't work, so I'm not going to do it. And it's just like, well, if you don't never play the lottery, you might not never hit it, even though that's different, because it's like, that's gambling and things like that. And I digress on that topic. But if you don't, of course you'll never win the lottery if you never play. Of course you'll never do whatever it is if you never actually do it. So of course, the person you vote for, your voice won't be heard in that if you don't even vote.
Yeah,
so I'm hopeful. Do you think more people will vote?
You gotta play to win,
Yeah, exactly. Do you think people will vote now?
I think this really, in my opinion, I think this really, it proved the point that your vote does count. I know it doesn't quite satisfy or count the way we want to, especially with you have the popular vote versus electoral, which I think we should get rid of electoral altogether. But in this essence right here, in the local election, I think the popular vote is the only one that counts. And in the local elections, like we did here in Georgia and stuff like that, you getting out and actually going to vote actually does make a difference. Your one ballot does make a difference. And I think that people seeing that, hey, we showed out in numbers. This was a fight for, for a better future. That, yeah, if you really want it, get out there and make a vote, especially, like I said, my emphasis, especially on the local elections, that your popular vote is the one that your one ballot really does carry a lot of weight. So definitely get there and vote. And I think this will, show people like, hey, they counted down to the last ballot, to the last ticket, and that's what pushed it over. It wasn't the electoral thing where you voted in your district in gerrymander. You got all these other politics with that. This right here really made a difference. So yeah, I think it showed people. It was like a show and prove. It showed people, So the proof is in the pudding. I'm good to go.
Also, too, I was kind of surprised, but in a good way, that once the runoff election in Georgia went through, that they didn't keep, because they were acting like, oh, we're over here cheating and all this, BS. But I was glad that the Secretary of State was just like, no, we're not gonna do no recount. Like, we're gonna certify these elections and we're gonna certify it, and they won. And because with the whole election, the presidential election, it was like in Georgia they counted like 3 times. Like, sir, you still lost. You lost. And so I was glad not to be going through this, and that the Republican candidates for the runoff, actually for the Senate, actually was like, yeah, I concede. And it's like, just bow out gracefully and move on. Like, I think if anything, it shows like when you keep trying to pander to something and say it's cheating. It's like, the thing is that you got voted in. Were we cheating then? Like, it's like, calm down, get off your high horse, get your ego out the way, and let's move on. Because the thing is, it's still a pandemic. A lot of people still are out without jobs. Prices in the grocery stores are going higher. People out here struggling. People getting sick. Healthcare is crazy. Like, let's talk about what's really real, and let's put more emphasis on that and this police brutality and things that's going on in the neighborhood and in the world, instead of in your little bubble of, oh, we cheated. So I just felt like, okay, I'm glad they didn't try to go through this whole thing. Like, let's recount these votes, because then you got to get the people the manpower for them people that volunteer. I don't even know if they get paid. I think they do, but they got to go back out there and recount votes again. If they don't want to do that, they done did it. So it's like, I'm glad that this time they just conceded and we moved on.
Yeah, and I think for once, it just goes to like how childish that shit really was. It's only cheating if you don't win.
Right.
Like, yeah, because because if he would have won, we wouldn't have heard about no recount and all. It's only cheating if you don't win. You wouldn't be pandering to the side if you didn't win. So yeah, miss me with that.
Speaking of people feeling I guess feeling like this world is going to a hell in a handbasket because their president, and I'm gonna say their president, didn't win. What are your thoughts on the Capitol riots in DC?
It goes to show you what a real riot is, what a real tantrum is. They were really, everybody kept thinking about, Black Lives Matter, how disruptive they were and all this kind of stuff, just kind of, putting really bad labels on them, but we didn't storm no Capitol. And I'm saying they didn't storm no Capitol. They didn't, try to take over the government. It was a literal piece of protest, and in this Capitol riot, people died. I think one lady got shot, and one officer lost his life. 5 other people got injured. And it just goes to show what a tantrum really looks like. You lost an election. You weren't really fighting for anything. To me, you weren't really fighting for nothing worth those people dying over. You lost an election. You wanted to storm. You wanted to take over the cap. Like that. You know how insane that sounds. You want to take over the Capitol because you lost fair and square. Ain't nobody doing you wrong. Ain't nobody repressing you. Ain't nobody holding you down. Ain't nobody shooting you in the back. Huh? Can you talk about that? But you want to riot for what? And now you want to, cry and whine and, oh my God, they cause terrorists, because you are, sir. You are. Thank you. You are exactly what they called you. But yeah, I digress. It just goes to show you what a tantrum look like. Show you how petty and how childish these people and how one-sided they really are. And how, like somebody said, they flew a Blue Lives Matter banner, but you killed a cop. Now, let's talk about that. You all that Blue Lives Matter stuff, but you went and you killed a cop. So where was the banner then? I ain't see that name fly. But I ain't gonna talk, I ain't gonna get too deep. Bella, what do you think about these?
I mean, I agree with you. I think that the people that were there protesting were definitely on some riot destruction. You can see it from them climbing the walls. You can see it from them telling people, like knocking people down, being disrespectful with the cops. It wasn't a peaceful protest at all. It was a riot. That's what it was. It was a plum riot. And the fact of the matter is that you're doing this because you're trying to say make America great again and things didn't go your way. But a lot people will tell you that America wasn't great for a lot of people. So you can't tell me that he didn't know about it, because I'm pretty sure he gave them to go ahead. There are key words that incite people, especially ignorant people who, only care about themselves and feel like something's getting taken away from them. And I'm like, you can't be the same one that's struggling. You out in a trailer park. Like, come on now. Like, don't play. And you on food stamps and everything else. Like, that is government assistance. Call it what you want to do, with your whole gun, rifles, and everything else. Like, just a lot of look they taking away from you. If anything, that particular president is for people with money and for the more powerful financial resources, things like that. So they come and storm the Capitol, and like I said, it wasn't nothing peaceful about that protest.
Nothing. And
couldn't tell you why they protested. And when they asked one of the ladies, she was like, they just want what I said. This is just not right. They spread us weekend. I'm like, child, like somebody had said a whole, I listened to EJ Speaks, and I sent it, I actually showed my dad too, where EJ, she's a comedian, but she was telling the truth, like what black people think. Like, girl, if that was us, we would have been shot before we turned the corner. And that's
walks down the street.
Like, this ain't got nothing. We could have been hands behind our back, no weapon. I mean, they literally had guns on them and everything. Child, we would have said, like she said, we would have said the word gun. We could have said fun. We could have said fun, son, and would have got shot.
Like, anything that rhyme with gun would have blown out of our socks.
It was so just like, this is what y'all doing, and y'all look like some plum fools. Like, I know they like to call black people monkeys and stuff, but what do y'all think y'all look like? Y'all look like just ratchet, climbing a wall and all that stuff. It just was like, okay, what are you doing? And then y'all talk about officers and your respect that y'all have. Y'all only respect them when I ain't never really seen nobody respect the officers that's not black, because I've seen them go and be like, what you putting me over for? Like, really get nasty with them. And y'all have this entitlement. They do. Some of those people, the Karens and the Kens and the Hicks and everything else coming out the woodwork, have all this entitlement. So it's just like, it was a mess. And I didn't feel no kind of way about it. I just looked at it and was like, I guess that's what that's the Trump administration. I was like, that's what that's like, huh? Okay. That's your people, huh? Okay. And then got the nerve to want to come back and talk about, we're going to find those people and prosecute them. That's not right. That's not what we should have done. I don't condone that, or you don't condone that. But you couldn't say that when they were killing the people that were doing a peaceful protesting for Black Lives Matter, you couldn't tell them to pull off of them and don't come there. A lot of times when they were doing the Black Lives Matters, they were being peaceful, and the looters were staged. They had people set in place to loot different stores, to be aggressive and throw bricks. It was many a times that they had on video where the person was like, nah, we're not about this. They had to actually stop the person that they had infiltrating that riot, that peaceful march, and was saying, hey, no, we're not throwing stuff. We're not about this
destroying property,
destruction and stuff, and you gonna get us, like, we can get shot for that. So don't be giving nobody no bricks, no nothing. Like, we try to just tell us this is what we here for, because we actually have a reason to protest. So yeah, it was a mess on the Capitol, and I didn't feel no kind of way about it. I was like, oh, okay, that's what y'all do.
They said they want to take over. They tired of it.
Okay, Kadira, what are you hoping the Biden administration do for the people?
First, I'm hoping they send my $2,000 check that somebody that I was told that I was gonna get. You can't be reneging that. You get you slapped in spades. Now you. That's some serious business. That's serious business. So hopefully they get my money.
Oh, you saying the $600 wasn't enough, huh?
It was, I'm just saying, I was thankful for it, but you told me to. You know what I'm saying? You told me to. Okay. Your man told me to. I'm just saying, all y'all run together. I need what was said to me, so Mitch can get out the way. Oh, speaking of that, did you hear what was it, Keisha Lance Bottom? Oh my gosh! Look, if people go to YouTube, I don't know if somebody took it down, but you know, Ludacris song "Move, Get Out the Way."
Uh-huh.
She was on there talking, "Move, Mitch, get out the way." I was like, "Yo, she is off the chain." I love her to death.
I love it. I love
I love her to death.
I think Lance Bottom is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna need my 2K, so I can fund this Japan trip that I want to take. Also, on a realer note, I'm hoping one of my biggest concerns right now is hoping that they do something. This is my personal biggest concern. Do something about this student loan shit, man. You know, do somebody like I said. If you're not gonna get rid of them altogether, reduce them. Do something to bring this. Like we need to rein this in because it's out of control. You need to rein for real, rein it in. Bring it back reasonable. You know. Also, go ahead and make this minimum wage thing across the board as well, because I think somebody did a study. 2009 minimum wage was $7.25. 2020, guess what 2021, guess what the minimum wage is today right now? $7.25. So inflation, like I said, inflation is continuously going up. Prices of stuff is continuously going up, but our minimum wage, our economy is not, or what the average person getting paid is not. And somebody else did a study that, so it's been $7.25 for about 30 years now, I believe. It's been $7.25 for a long time. And so, like I said, the prices of things continuously going up, but the average minimum wage is not. That's why I say minimum wage is not a livable wage. It's supposed to be, but it's not a livable wage. For real. So
livable if you got 9 roommates.
Yeah, you got to have.
You got 9 roommates, y'all, you balling.
Yeah, you got to have at least 9, and your rent got to be about $550. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just a combination of things that are blatantly, obviously needs to be fixed. You know, my biggest thing is the minimum wage. Fix that. Do something about these student loans. Fix that. And remember my $2 million STEM. You know what I'm saying? Did I say $2 million?
Nothing you said. Maybe you did. I thought you said 2,000.
I think I was dreaming for a second. My bad. Let me come back.
You needed $2 million though.
my 2K. My 2K check. I'm gonna need that. I need you to run that. So, what about you? What do you feel about this Biden administration? What do you think? What are you hoping for? What are you hoping for? What do you want?
Everything that you said, and also I think they need to do things about healthcare. Healthcare is super expensive for people who don't have jobs, and even when you have jobs, it's expensive.
Yeah,
I think they need to. Like the prices on stuff is crazy. Like I know I had an instance where I had a fall and they were still trying. I got insurance and they still was asking me for, but I'm like, what I do? What? I said, I would never. I remember when I used to be little and like, you know, when you kids, you out there riding your bike and stuff. Look, the shoe like this, mama, put some little Neosporin on it.
Yeah, put some Neosporin on it.
You know, it is expensive to go to the doctor. And if you got something seriously wrong or a serious illness, I can only imagine what those bills are like. Like, you know, they say, oh, if you meet this certain amount, the insurance will take care of it. But it's just ridiculous. And it's like healthcare is very important.
Yeah, it's going to be $1,000. Like, well, shit, look.
And I just feel like that's something that's a bill in itself. Like, good God Almighty, and like we want to be able to go to the doctor, and I feel like, oh God, that's more stress that you giving to Americans. I don't care if you got insurance or not. It's because then you paying the hospital, then you paying the if you in the ER, you paying them people. Then they contract. I'm like, y'all ain't all together. Y'all can't bundle that up like some insurance. Stop playing with me. I mean, it's just a lot.
Ambulance ride.
I mean, everything. And then another thing I want to know, I need this to happen, not just for me, but for the generations that's coming after me. I need this to happen for my nephews, for my brothers, like this police brutality where people are doing whatever they want, willing a gun because they got a badge and shooting us like we're ants, like we're roaches or something, killing us, and there's no repercussions. Because I feel like not only does the police department need better training, but I think that if something goes wrong, there's no accountability for them, you know. And it's like we still talking about Breonna Taylor, we're still talking about George Floyd. Like these are things that should not be happening in 2020, 2021. So it's like I don't want to be feeling like my nephews can't go out or wear a hoodie because somebody gonna look at them and feel like whatever. And so, or for my future kids, you know, it's just like I don't want that shouldn't be a lifestyle that we should have to go. We have to separate ourselves to build a community so that we know we all right. We should be able to live wherever we want to live and feel like, you know what, if anything do go down, that the law is gonna protect us. So he's gonna have to get together and hopefully that he can put things in place that will convict people in there. These Supreme Court judge, like all of this stuff, it's like from the top, all the way from the top to the bottom, we need to like restructure all of this because it's not working. It's not working for us.
And one of the saddest things that I had, or I was having a conversation with Aisha the other day, and one of the saddest things that we was talking about, we were talking about somebody else who got shot, and we came to the realization, we were like, ooh, which one? It was actually a which one conversation, and can you narrow it down? That's how often this shit happens. Which one can you narrow it down to the possibly the day of the week that this happened, because it happens so often. Like that's to realize that was kind of just like real heartbreaking and sad. You know, so yeah, you're right. I do this reform or whatever you want to call it needs to happen. It needs to happen. We need to relook at some of these laws and relook at you know, especially
the training.
The training, all that stuff. So
and accountability. And I do understand that, you know, they're like officers and I guess they need to have a place where they can sit there and say, I saw something that wasn't right. And they need to be able to report it and not be looked at as like a snitch, because I'm sure they have like a snitch kind of mentality too. Like, oh, we blue before anything else, we blue. And it's like, nah, like if you're a human being, you should know something's going wrong, your partner wrong or whoever wrong. Like wrong is wrong, right is right. And that's what you're supposed to be upholding when you take that oath. Not to be like, okay, well, I can pick and choose. Like, it don't work like that. But yeah, they definitely need to revamp how things are going down in these precincts and different things like that, and have more community engagement, because I feel like sometimes a person will run because it's like they don't know what you're about to do. And I know you mad because you got to run. So how about you put things out in place for the community, let us know we ain't looking for, we're not out here trying to hunt y'all. That's what it's starting to feel like. Yeah, they hunting us.
Yeah, that's definitely
a no-go.
All right, so we're gonna get ready to move on to our next topic, something that I was, you know, I'm in this little Facebook group that we kind of talk about different things, stuff like that. And one of the topics that came up, there was a meme, and the meme had on one side, it said, you know, it's talking about, it had a woman saying like, hey, I'm pregnant. And the dude, and she goes first, say, I'm gonna have an abortion. And dude was like, no, I don't have the abortion. And anyway, you know, she has the abortion anyway. And it shows the dude kind of walking off crying, right? That was the one side of the story. And then the other side of the meme was saying that that the woman was like, hey, I'm pregnant. And the dude was like, you know, hey, I'm not ready for a child yet. You know, I'm not ready for kids. And then, you know, in the next picture, it showed that, you know, she had the baby, and then showed him walking off, like basically like he was leaving the child and stuff like that, right? Leaving the wife and the kid. I mean, the woman and the child, you know, because he had a suitcase packed and everything. It was ridiculous. But so we had a discussion about it, right?
Okay.
In the group, and you know, the young lady who posted it was basically like, so what's the difference? And just kind of give some hard truths. I said, you know, my opinion was that on side A, the first side is, you know, ultimately it is the woman's choice. It's her body, it's her choice, you know, because as men, we do not have to deal with certain health issues and things like that you have to deal with. So ultimately it is the woman's choice. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's her choice. It's going down to her. And then on side B, I was saying that, you know, also you should believe what a person tell you. If that man tell you that he don't want kids, or if that man tell you, you know, he's not ready either before or after you let him know you got pregnant, believe him when he tell you that. You know, I tell you, you know, you might want to get ready for a rocky road. You know, just being very blunt and very honest. But I don't want to elaborate on that. I want to elaborate first on some of the comments that the men made about how they felt, and this is the vibe I got. They felt like they should have control on whether or not the woman had the abortion. I said, no, sir. What were the comments
that they were saying?
Okay, this is what he said, and this is kind of I'm kind of reading in the middle, but I'm gonna you get the vibe of what he's trying to say. I don't get the whole it's her. And he first of all he wrote a bunch of shorthand, and I must be getting old because a lot of some of the shorthand I didn't get, but I'm gonna make do the best I can. I don't get the whole it's her body comment when women don't asexually reproduce. People need to start looking at first off sex as if you will have a child if you he put F without a rubber. I guess it supposed to mean fuck without a rubber.
Wait, what he say now?
F without a rubber. I don't know why he put F, but he cut somewhere else. He was trying to say fuck without a rubber. And second, it's the responsibility of the two irresponsible soon-to-be parents to take care of the kid. And I just had to, and we had a long, me and some other people had a long discussion prior to, just telling like, hey, my whole thing was, it's a right now the way things set up, it's just a burden that men have to bear. It's not, you might not like it, but it's just a burden you have to bear that if she decides to have this child, the way things structured now, you will be paying child support. And so
you didn't have to really read it because I still didn't get what he was trying to say.
Basically, he was saying, I said that because I said it was black and white, and my statement was, but because we're men and we don't have to deal physically with that child for 9 months, we don't have to. There is no risk to our health whatsoever. The child is not in us. For 9 months, we have no say so over the decision that one makes to do with that child if she want to have an abortion or not. You know what I'm saying? That was my stance on it.
And I think, Cordero, just to touch on that, not to get too deep into it, but I think that was a smart thing to say because it's actually a factual thing.
Yeah.
I feel like, for example, if a man wants to have a kid with a woman, I think a lot of times people should think about it as a planned situation. I think sometimes people like, if it happens, but I think, and it might sound old fashioned, but you really should have this planned out with the person that you're going to be dealing with and be in a committed relationship with it. And a commitment, I mean, to me means marriage, but for some people, they don't believe in marriage. So, but anything can happen and you want to make sure that you're in that child's life and that you dealing with a woman, because let me talk to the men right quick, that you're dealing with a woman that you know that if she has a kid, if y'all have a oopsie or whatever, that she knows that she wants to keep the kid. That's the thing she gonna do, because women can say one thing and then do another. And that's their prerogative. That's their prerogative to change their mind about what's going on. But most times, if somebody's dealing with you, regardless if it don't work out or not, I think you need to know that person's stance on abortion or not. Because some people they will have the baby regardless if they're with you or not. I think if you are I'm talking to the men that want to have the kid, that probably don't believe in abortion or just, want her to, you have to realize that there are things that she's going to have to go through if y'all break up, and especially if she's doing it alone, that she gonna need that support because she is the one carrying. She probably, even if y'all not together, I think it would be behoove you to be at doctor's appointments and try to find out the information and really be involved, even if y'all are not together. See, it gets a lot more trickier when you're trying to bring a life into this world and you guys are on rocky terms, or y'all not in a real relationship, or y'all haven't sat down and had these thoughts and these talks about what would happen if she were to get pregnant. Because in the end of the day, the woman does carry the
heavier burden.
You can say that, oh, well, I help make, you help make it, but at the end of the day, you're not carrying the child. And so if she's working, she might have to stop working and different things. So it's like, you just have to be mindful of that. If you are going to be there, regardless if y'all in a relationship or not, then you really got to step up extra hard and say, listen, I'm trying to be here. I want to be here. You have to push extra hard for that. Now for the men, I'm talking to the man who dealing with somebody and y'all don't want to have kids. Well, you need to be making sure you double wrapping stuff up. You need to be making sure she taking the pill. Like, you need to be making sure you on your P's and Q's, because she could be one of the people like, I'm gonna have it regardless. And now you sitting there looking stupid, talking about, now you a deadbeat off rip because you ain't even want the kid. So it's like, you need to make sure that you dealing with a woman that it's like, you know what, I don't want kids either way, or whatever the case, because even with that, she can say that, and something can happen, she can change her mind, which she has the right to do. But if you're dealing with a woman that if you dealing with somebody that you know you don't want to kiss, you need to get a vasectomy. You need to make sure whatever you out here, if you like to be sticking it everywhere, that's your responsibility. Don't put that all on a woman like, oh, she want to keep it, so it's on her. No, because you filed for that. If that's the case, if you don't want kids, you need to be celibate. You need to be having a vasectomy. You need to be taking double condoms. You need to keep condoms everywhere you go. You need to make sure that you're not the one, giving your sperm out like a sperm donor. So, you can't sit there and be mad about it. So these are conversations that you need to be having before you being intimate with somebody, point blank, period.
Yeah, and one of the things I also was mentioning to the I said for the side of, well, this is something else I also mentioned was like, because the dude was like, so we ain't got no sex. I said, because no matter how, like you said, no matter how it's looked at, no matter if you told this woman she tricked you, no matter how you look at it, at the end of the day, you're gonna look at it like the man who left the woman and the child. That's how it's gonna be looked at anyway. And so so we kind of went on to that, and I'm trying to kind of give you like a little background, a little backstory how the conversation went. But it was even a woman, and we were trying to come up with different ways, right? I said, and it was even a woman who came up with this. She was like, well, if she said it should probably be something to the nature of, as soon as the woman found out she's pregnant, within, y'all missed that second period or whatever, things like that. Her exact statement, because I want to paraphrase anything. All right, and she said, in the case of side B, I feel there should be some sort of paperwork a man can sign.
Side B though.
Side B was him saying, I don't want to have a child, and then her having a baby anyway, and then him leaving. All right. In the case of side B, I feel there should be some sort of paperwork a man can sign acknowledging he did not want a child and that he alerted the pregnant. Also, this document should be signed by the end of the first trimester, and it should relieve the dude of parental responsibility. Too many times, raggedy ass heifers have babies out of spite and to knowingly drain the guy. Knowingly to drain a guy. That shit is wrong. I believe if something like this were to be put in place, there will be less of the bullshit because the raggedy ass heifer would then think twice about having a baby. All right. So, I said, and I was like, cool. I mean, that sounds like an idea, but unfortunately, I think that's a long way away from happening. So just dealing with it now. But yeah, well, like I said, I don't think, I was like, well, that sounds like a plan, but I don't think that paperwork is what she said.
No, I said, well, but I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, but I don't think that's something, I don't see that happening in the near future no time soon anyway.
Okay, so I mean, I'm treading lightly on this because this is a woman speaking out, and women have a right to disagree with whatever, but I feel like the fact that she calling a woman a raggedy heifer and all that, to me, that just tells me like what kind of animosity she got. Now, I do think that she has a point in the sense of some women, they do have the child, even if they say, no, I don't want kids initially dealing with a dude, right? And then they have the right to change their mind and say, no, I have a kid. And whether they're doing it because they think this is going to make the man stay or whatever, that brings me back to my point of the man responsibility, where I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's all on the woman. No, because at the end of the day, if you dealing with a woman, she says she don't want to have kids, and then something happens and she changes her mind. I mean, that could be casual sex. That could be anything. I mean, most times that's where the conversation comes in. But let's say just off of what her statement is that a man should sign a document in the second trimester, the
first trimester.
First trimester, she said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if the woman is already doing things out of spite, you think she's gonna sign something? No. Secondly, I don't know too many men that would think like that, but what if she does have him sign something off, right? Is he sure he want to be making a decision? Because once the child get 18, they might need that man for something. Listen, when you have a child, it's more than just caring for a child and being there. Because we know every single day people just go out of people's lives, children's lives, right? We have your DNA is wrapped up in that. So God forbid something happens to that kid, they might need you for something. I mean, it's like, who want to sign it off like that? Like, okay, well, he's gonna be not responsible for all financial responsibilities. Like, ain't no court in the world gonna sign some man, because thing is, raising a child is hard, and depending on what kind of her job she got, if she go for financial assistance, they're gonna say, well, who the daddy? And they're gonna be coming for his pocket. So that ain't even going.
That's why I said I don't think that's not even nowhere near in the Yeah, it's definitely not.
That's not even gonna work. So it's like, you know, you need to deal with somebody. If you are that dead set of not having any more kids or having kids at all, you need to be making sure that, you know what I'm saying, you wrapping it up in that you take precautions. If you know you don't want to have kids, then get a vasectomy. Because I have known people that was like, they say they had a vasectomy and the girl tried to be like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, and she was, and he was like, it ain't mine. I bitch, I have a couple. So, you know, you can take precautions if you really feel strongly that way. You know what I'm saying? There are things that people can do. That's my point. There are things that people can, it's precautions that people can take. But see, a lot of times people are there for the instant gratification. And so
Yeah.
they ain't thinking about that. They see something hot, warm, they're trying to get into it, and it's that. But you know what? That has precautions at the end of the day. If you want to know people that like, I don't want no kids, or I don't want no more kids, or da da da. Well, you need to think twice about it instead of thinking with the other part of your body. And that's just what it is. And so having somebody sign a document, a man sign a document saying he relinquish all his rights and financial responsibilities, that sounds like some poppycock. And I'm gonna move on from that.
Yeah.
Next.
And just let you know, vasectomies are reversible. It's not like it used to be. Just so you know, putting that out there, they are reversible.
Right. There's things you can do. I mean, you ain't got to get a vasectomy, but if you that dead set on it, I mean, it's things you can do.
It's a birth
You can
control.
watch her take the pill, say, open up,
Hold
tug
your
up.
breath, hold your breath. You better call.
Like I said, it's things. You can set an alarm on your clock, bitch. It's time for you to take the pill. Don't call her no bitch.
And like, vasectomy is birth control. It's birth control for men. Vasectomy is birth control for men. If you really like that, I'm for it. Get a vasectomy, dude. And when you ready to have kids, when you know you ready to have kids, you can get it reversed. It's not that hard.
Y'all have a oopsie. You shove a plan B to her. No, I'm saying. These are only jokes. These are only jokes. No, but I'm just saying, like, there's different things that you can do.
Right.
And so like I said, if you get to the point where it's like it is what it is, that's on you. Like, you know, the man, a lot of times, you know, they act like, oh, well, she want to do this. It's up to her. It is up to her initially. The woman carries the child and all that stuff, and you have to give respect when respect is due, and that's just what it is. But if you know you don't want to have kids with this woman, then you need to be taking precautions as much as she takes precautions. If she ain't taking none, then you got it. Here's some condoms. Here's this. Here's that. Like, it's things you can walk away. Your hand is your best friend. You need to get comfortable with it. Like, I don't know, but don't be coming over here trying to, can you sign a paper the way we're right? Like, come on, get out of here.
That bullshit, huh?
It's just foolishness because she ain't have the baby by herself. She didn't get pregnant by herself, you know? So let's not do that.
But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, you know.
All right, last to wrap this up, Cordero, we're going to just ask you, in the first few weeks of this 2021, how are you feeling mental health wise? How are you feeling about it?
I ain't gonna lie, it didn't get out to a good start. it still didn't get out to a good start, but we're gonna see what happens after the 20th. We're gonna see after the 20th and thus far on. That's how I'm gonna gauge the rest of it. From the 20th thus far on, at least until my birthday, something like that. So I'm gonna give it a few months to see how things work on. What about you?
Mental health wise, I feel like I'm doing okay. Like, I can only respond to things that I can control, and what I can control, and be like with that whole right thing, I didn't even let it affect me because it's like, that's nothing that I have no control over that. That's some ignorant people that decided to do something, and to me, it just was foolishness. But going forward mentally, I mean, just staying on the path that I've been, making sure I read, making sure that I protect myself from things that I shouldn't be interested in or people that are not good for me. Just kind of focusing on getting a sense of peace overall in my domain. And that's where I'm at with it. Being, I guess, conscious of the news, but not letting it consume my everyday and every moment. So mentally health, so far, I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm motivated, and that's half of the battle right there.
Okay.
All right, how you feeling about your job security?
Hey, it's as stable as it's gonna be. You know, I'm hustle, baby. It's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it either way it go. But
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? But no, it's stable as it's gonna be. I don't see me moving around too much. You know, at least for 6 months. You know, if I do move, I think at this point, if I do move, it'll be my decision. So I'm feeling pretty confident about my job security. If not, like things happen. If not, I do feel like, I'm gonna make it either way. So that's how I roll. What about you and your job security? Because somebody.
I think it's fine. I mean, I don't know. Right now, I've been working from home, so I don't know when that's gonna go back. So I think as far as job security, I think it's okay. I mean, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. But I don't know as far as like the safety of things, like when we have to go back into the office. So I'm not really sure about that. And like I done went and bought a face shield along with the mask. So I'm probably coming there super extra. I'm just saying, if I can find me a hazmat suit, I will be wearing it. But I mean, hopefully we can continue to work from home, continue. That's my goal. And I'm just trying to get in where I fit in. If I can find some extra jobs or extra whatever,
Belly got 9 jobs.
I'm gonna try to get a little money here and there, do little odd things around, because like I said, my goal is to get a home, and so a house, be a homeowner. So I'm just trying to prepare us for that. What about dating, Cordero? How do you feel about, dating 2021 style?
I mean, well, I think for everybody, dating 21 style is pretty much it's online, or that's pretty much how it's rolling now. I know dating wise, put like this, I'll put relationship stuff on a hold. I'm not really looking for it. If it happens, it happens, but that's not something I kind of took. I got fatigued, so I'm kind of backing off from that right now. Dating wise, I'm still open to date. We go out, we kick it every once in a while, safely, what I'm saying, with your mask on. You know what I'm saying? But as far as relationship wise go, man, it's just I'm fatigued with it. I'm kind of just it ain't something I'm necessarily looking for. Like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Point A, point B, point C. It ain't my thing. I'm more just kind of cruising right now. What about you, Valerie? Dating wise?
I think people just have to be very cautious about 2021 because you don't know who's around who, and you just have to be like mindful. I think this is the time for anybody, for a man or a woman, to get very creative if they find somebody that they're interested in. Like online is always good. If you can get into all that kind of stuff, and then like, if you do want to meet somebody, I seen one thing, a couple of people had posted how they were like, well, this was in the city though. So guys, I mean, take it at a grain of salt. But they were on the rooftop having like a virtual date on the rooftop watching the sunset. And I was like, look, in my book, that's a win. It's safe. They like end up cooking the same thing. And I mean, you can just get creative. You can get creative and like be social distance and still do things to interact with people. I think interaction is normal. I think you just have to be mindful of like, still social distance, especially if it's somebody you don't know, or they travel a lot, or they are out in a job where they meet a lot of different people. I think you just have to be mindful of that. But you never know. I mean, 2021 could be the year that you meet somebody that you like.
Yeah, because I know I've done the virtual movie thing, the virtual game thing, all that kind of stuff. So you're right. They're get creative. They're always
gotta get creative.
Yeah, I always say to do things.
Okay, so going forward, for 2021, are you planning to take any trips? And if so, how do you plan to do that?
Well, assuming right now it's gonna be just road trips, but assuming that the world open backs up, I'm still my Japan trip is still my first trip I'm taking. When the borders open back up and it's safer to fly and things like that, still trying to do things accordingly. But safer to fly, I'm still wanting to do my Japan trip and go out of town. Right now, I know I might pick somebody in like one of my little friends or whatever, and we might go on just a nightly car ride. You know what I'm saying? Just to get out the house and just feel that breeze, let the window down, let the sunroof down and stuff, like listen to little music or something like that. So that's also that's another dating thing you could do. Just you and that person. So yeah, that's we might do a road trip, but it'll be a small road trip, something to go see a outdoor site somewhere. So.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Taking road trips for right now.
I know you do your usually Canada. I know you usually do your Canada trip and all kind of stuff like that.
Don't remind me. I'm like, and I got more places I want to go, and it's just like, but you know what? I'm willing to wait for it until it gets. I don't want to put my health at expense just to go somewhere and enjoy it for the moment. I'm more like, I can wait. Like I can be patient and I can wait, even though that's not really my thing to be patient. But for my health and other people's health, I can wait. Yeah, I don't have any trips planned per se, but when I am able to travel, I think I'm not going to get on a plane. I don't see me getting on a plane anytime soon.
Mhm.
But I do definitely want to do a road trip. I've been thinking about, I have a cousin in Texas and I got some family in Mississippi. So I'm definitely thinking about like getting to certain areas and kind of seeing it. And I think I've never thought to travel that far. Like my motto has always been, if it's longer than 8 hours, then I ain't doing it. But if I break it up and do like over a period of time, I feel like it won't be so daunting to me, and then I can make it happen, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, definitely road trips, and visit some of the states that I've been wanting to go to. It might just take me a little longer to get there, but I'm okay with that if I know my safety is gonna be
Right, security.
intact.
Yeah.
So you guys let us know below, how has the first few weeks of 2021 been to you? How you feeling about it? Do a mental health check-in, making sure you guys are all right. How you handling just still being in COVID-19, not necessarily quarantine, but being social distancing, and just how you feeling about your job, or if you lost a job, or things like that. Just let us know, comment below. Let us know how you feeling about just the new administration coming up with Biden. What are you hoping that he does? Some things we may have missed, but it might be some things that you personally feel like you need to work on. And so we just want to say, yay, Georgia, for turning blue. Like, awesome, awesome, awesome. That's all I got. What about you, Cord?
I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm good to go.
All right, guys, this has been season 3. New season started 2021, and also episode 1. We thank you guys for listening. It's been real. Peace.
Peace.